guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. EJDconstruction.com is fully insured, liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
Miami Dolphin fans, it's all about Phinz UK Nation. Yeah, that's it, baby. Phinz Nation UK. It wasn't about Jason Sanders. It wasn't about Mike McDaniel taking 18 effing weeks to figure out a challenge. It wasn't about X waiting till the end of the game to actually cover somebody. It was Phinz Nation UK. Now we know. Now we know the key to winning. Phinz Nation UK. See, I tried to wear a Dolphin hat. Where's my other Dolphin hat that I have here? Always lined up my other Dolphin hat. You know, I've tried everything. And it took Phinz Nation UK t-shirt to get it done. So there you go. How about that? We're in the playoffs. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Super Bowl's next. Still have that house in Arizona. We're all partying. Oh, God. Listen, man. Go ahead, Sean. What were you going to say?
They changed the score. They gave the Dolphins a safety on that final play. 11-6 is your final. I'll get that changed as soon as I can.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay. 11-6, huh? All right. We'll take that. All right. We'll take it. I like at the end, guy says the streak is over. Yeah, for one team. Not for the Jets, but for us. Look, in the end, man, just win. I'm not, and I've been on this kind of trip for a while. You guys some of you are into style points, and, I don't care about style points, to be quite honest. I don't care about style points. That's not going to do anything for us. Just win the game. Find a way to win. Defense, once again, like they've done all year long. They held the Jets in check. It was up to the offense to figure it out, and they found a way to figure it out, and that's it. And they got it done. You know, it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't supposed to be pretty. All right? It wasn't supposed to be a dominant effort or anything like that. You just got to find a way to win the damn game. And I got to give them credit. They found a way to win the game. That's it. I mean, what I didn't want was a loss. And then because, McDaniel, as a game day coach, that's the one thing, I tweeted out, I said it's a really easy way to describe Mike McDaniel. Great guy, great personality, great offensive mind. Players play hard for him, but as a game day coach, he leaves so much to be desired. And that's part of being young, because he hasn't had to carry that burden throughout an entire game. And so what he's done is, just hand off some plays here or there to Shanahan. He doesn't have to carry the entire burden of everything going on. And now he does, and he hasn't done a really good job of that. But today was just about finding a way to win. That's it. Hey, look out. It looks like he's available to talk here because he's in the zone there. Let's unleash the Wolf Pack. Cameron Wolf, fresh off of a game where he was freezing his ass off. Let's have a little fun. Let's talk to Cam about this game and more right here as we unleash the Wolf Pack, our KSDTCPA postgame report.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
All righty, there he is, locked and loaded. He's in a plane ready to get back to Miami, but he saw the Dolphins finish off and eke one in there. So the Dolphins are in the playoffs, my brother. What do you think?
Man, they don't give pretty awards, but you make the playoffs, right? It was definitely ugly, but, I think Dolphins fans would take it, right? 5 straight losses, but defense showed up, and you make it. And so you go up to Buffalo. I think it's official now. They're going up to Buffalo next weekend to play the Bills in that playoff game. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something, and let me be a total homer on this point of view. You got a rookie coach, your starting quarterback misses 5 games. You have so many injuries all over on that team throughout, and you've lost a ton of them on defense. To still make the playoffs, if you put it in that context, it's actually not that bad, actually. You know what I mean? It's actually a slight accomplishment that you were able to overcome all this kind of adversity and still sneak into the playoffs. I know at 8-3, that's what ruins that statement, because you lost 5 in a row in a key moment and you really buried yourself. But still, considering all the injuries and losing your starting quarterback for 5 games, maybe it's not that bad of an accomplishment, actually.
Right. I think, this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2016, right? So playoffs are an accomplishment. That's just the reality of the situation, And so, of course, it hasn't ended pretty, but I do think that, you got a rookie head coach. You got a team that's had a bunch of quarterback injuries, a bunch of defensive injuries. Given the circumstances, I think they'll take it. Now, if you're asking, do you consider the success? I think that's a different question. But I think not
a success. Not a success.
Yeah, but I think right now you take more positives than negatives, because if we were talking and this game went a different way, or if the Patriots did win and they missed the playoffs, then it would be a different story. But that's not the boat that we have now. And so I think that today's a good day for Dolphins, and you move forward from that. I can't take a lot of solace in this game and say, hey, I feel great about them beating Buffalo. But right now, today is about making the playoffs.
Right. And making the playoffs, I think, is not. And listen, one of the things that I talked about in the pregame show, last year you were able to beat a lot of the bad teams and pile up your record, and you got throttled by the good teams, actually. This year, you've actually beaten some good teams. You've played other good teams really close because 5 of the 8 losses are within a score. And you played several playoff teams within a score, obviously. Hell, we could argue that the Buffalo game, you should have won that game. You know what I mean? But overall, Green Bay's in the playoffs, Chargers are in the playoffs. All these teams, you played them to 1 score. So I get that it looks terrible in the overall picture, but if you start to kind of unearth it, it's not as bad as it seems because you were really close to adding all kinds of other victories, which you really couldn't have said that in the year past.
Yeah, well, I think at their peak, the Dolphins were a team that could compete with pretty much any team in the AFC. You mentioned that Buffalo game. When we saw them after the Buffalo game, I was like, they could play with anyone. But this current Dolphins team, I don't know if I feel the same way. And so maybe they turn it on at some point. Maybe the big question this week is going to be, where are you at quarterback? Obviously. Tua is going to be the first question. Where is he in the protocol? Is there any chance for him to come back? And so that's going to be lingering all over this week. If he comes back, then obviously you have a better chance. But then if not, is Teddy able to go? He was active today. Seemed like he was able to go if Skylar got hurt. But if it's me and I saw what Skylar did today, I'm putting Teddy in there if he's any better to give me another chance. Like I said, it's choosing between –
Yeah, but it's a fracture. It's a dislocated pinky. That's a really difficult injury to throw football. And by the way, throw football in 25 degrees, 30 degrees, because you're going to Buffalo.
Right. That's why I said if it's better. Because clearly it wasn't good enough for them to feel good about him playing or starting, but it was good enough for him to be active. And so if it's better, Skylar Thompson scored, 9 points today? That's not going to work against Buffalo. So you're going to have to figure out something. No. You don't think no chance.
Buffalo.
No chance.
You don't think the defense can limit? By the way, they scored 11 points today. Okay, they picked up a safety, buddy.
They did, but that wasn't Skylar's points. That was defensive points. Skylar got 9.
So if you come up with 11 points in Buffalo, you don't think the defense can limit them to like 5 or 6 points? No,
not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance in the world.
Just checking.
Not a chance in the world.
All right, one of the things that I've been talking about it throughout the year, and it reared its ugly head again today until he finally won a challenge at the end, but his game day coaching. It has all throughout the year, it's been very questionable whether he doesn't stick with the run. Look at Gesicki now. Gesicki 3 weeks in a row is making plays for you. You were hard-headed about not using a playmaker and putting him in there. There are so many decisions that, and the challenges. He was terrible this year. He finally won one at the end of this game. As a game day coach, that is my sticking point with Mike McDaniel. I like the man. I like his personality. I love his offensive mind. You can tell players play hard for him, but his game day management, and again, he's a rookie coach. That is something to be desired, and he's got to really work on that because, Cam, you know it, bro, against the great coaches and the great teams, that's going to cost you a game every single time.
Absolutely. And you hear the speakers going on here. At some point, they're going to tell me I got to turn the phone off. But I think that Mike McDaniel has some things he has to learn going into year 2 about a lot of things. And I think one thing is he's got to figure out who he trusts as far as the analytics department. As far as the challenges, as you saw today, he finally won a challenge after being terrible at having throughout he needs some people that can help him in the game management aspect. And I think that's normal for first year head coaches. This is a guy who, had never even called plays before he got to this job. He was the, behind the scenes, drawing up the scheme for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers run game. And so he's obviously been proficient in this offense. But I think there's a lot of elements of the game management that he has to learn, and ideally hire a coach, a veteran coach who can help him with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, I need somebody to help me with this. I need a little help. And so I'd imagine this offseason, whether it's analytics guy, whether it's a veteran coach, whether it's someone in that spectrum, there's some help added to help Mike be a little bit better in those areas of the game.
I'm with you. All right. Final question. From what I understand, didn't Tua have to do some light workouts this week before you get into next week if you were going to play? Now, listen, for me, I wouldn't even play him for the rest of the season. I think he needs the entire offseason to rest and relax and recharge and give that brain and that head a rest and start next year. But what's the process? What's your gut tell you on how they're going to handle this Tua thing with one playoff game?
Yeah, it all depends on what step he is in the protocol, right? And so, like, if you remember the week that he was coming back, there's a step where you can practice. It's usually step 3 or 4 where you can practice with no contact. Obviously, quarterbacks should no contact regardless in practice. He had not been in that stage because he was not even at practice. And so he would have to, in my opinion, get in that step very early in the week for him to have a realistic chance. It would have to probably be by Wednesday's practice. And so I think by Wednesday or Thursday, we'll have a good gauge of if there's even a chance for Tua to be ready there. I do think that he badly will push to play, but the protocol will be the protocol, right? And so I know that he's going to have second evaluations and third evaluations all around the country. And so the problem that he's going to run into is that if there's any question at all, any hesitation, they're going to hold him out. So I don't think this is going to be a situation where he's cleared on Saturday. I think it'll have to be he's cleared on Wednesday or Thursday before they trot him out there, or feel like he's going to be cleared on Wednesday or Thursday before they do that. And so,
what's your gut tell you? What's your gut tell
you? My gut that is probably Teddy or Skyler starting that quarterback this week.
Yeah. That's what I think. They do the responsible thing and do that and give the guy the off season. All right, safe in your travels, my friend. I appreciate you as always. Thank you for sharing your insight as always, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one, man.
You got it. There you go. Cameron Wolf. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Catch his work there at the NFL Network and KSDT. Listen, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties for our listeners in South Florida. Sometimes we'll tell you nationwide for Sloman's Home Security, of course. You know what I mean? Nationwide, Essential Moving Experts will tell you about that, right? Edge Energy Drink will tell you nationwide. You guys can take it. RedRecover.com, nationwide, worldwide. NatureBee.com, worldwide. But in this case, KSDT here in South Florida, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties, forensic accounting, management advisory services, healthcare advisory, property management, wealth management, valuation, tax from domestic to international tax. They do all kinds of accounting services for you, assurance. They do it all. And whether it's your personal or business, they can help your business get to the next level, help you with budget, help you with payroll, help you with planning, help you with healthcare, all kinds of things. Call the great people at KSDT CPAs, 305-670-3370. The Wolf Pack has been unleashed.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. Yeah, Tua would have played last week if it's up to him.
Hey,
what do you got, Sean?
Before you get too deep into the Dolphins' win here in the playoffs, the Texans and the Bears were going for the number 1 pick today.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The Texans they lost to the Vikings.
Right.
So the Texans, with under a minute to go, are down 31-24. They score the touchdown, get the 2-point conversion, and end up with the number 2 pick.
Wow. So the Bears end up with the number 1?
The Bears get the number 1 pick.
Damn, dude.
Jeff Saturday's going to Jeff Saturday. They beat the Colts, by the way. The Texans did.
Yeah, I know. They were beating the crap out of the Colts.
The Colts actually took the lead and were up 31-24 with under a minute to go. It was 4th and 20. They scored and then got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that Jeff Saturday experiment definitely was a bad one. But whatever. That's all right. Okay. All right. They end up with the number 1 pick.
My man Bill Preston, rest in peace, my boy. He's a big Bears fan, was a big Bears fan. Well, he's up there watching the Bears. He's probably happy they got a first-round pick. So there you go. Oh, man. That's crazy. But, hey, listen, Bills win. They take care of business. I told you to take Bills -8, didn't I? Well, they won by 12. So we end up in the money. By the way, Gala, also for you non-crypto people, obviously it's not a thing for you, but Gala is up 43% right now, man. It's crazy, man. That is good. That is really, really good. Anyway, Sam says we can't run the ball with Eichenberg and Little in the O-line. Well, no, there were times that they ran. Eichenberg ended up getting injured. You know, I didn't get to talk about this in the first half in the pregame. Eichenberg had 7 pressures allowed last week. Why in the world you would reinsert Eichenberg back and then, you know, whatever. The Mostert injury was, I mean, the Dolphins. Waddle gets banged up at the end with the horse collar. Brandon Shell, is he going to be available for the Buffalo game? Because he's been outstanding for the Dolphins at right tackle. Mostert gets the thumb injury. Eichenberg gets the arm injury. I mean, dude, it just doesn't end. It doesn't end. That's the only reason why I told Cam this, that just to put like a slight positive spin on all of this, I'm not happy with McDaniel's overall coaching. He's got to grow as a game day coach. I love everything else about him, but as a game day coach, he leaves a lot to be desired, okay? So there are things that I like or don't like or whatever that we could talk about with this team. But, man, you start looking at, you know, the amount of bad luck that they had this year with all the injuries. Your starting quarterback, it wasn't about regular injuries, it was about concussions this time around. So you lose him for 5 games. And then your backup quarterbacks, they can't stay. Hell, Skyler almost got injured and was out. I was like, okay, well, the backup quarterbacks are more fragile than Tua. So your backup quarterbacks, for the first time, the backup quarterback was able to even finish a game. So you don't even get any luck with your backup quarterbacks. So you've had all these injuries. You got a rookie coach that really hasn't handled everything well. You got your starting quarterback who's a stud, but he's missed too many games this year because of concussions. And having said all that, they still made the playoffs. I mean, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? I needed more because McDaniel had more to work with. But all I'm saying is if you want to put like a slight positive spin on it, I'm not telling you it's a successful season. I'm not saying any of that stuff. All I'm saying is, considering everything that went on and how this team never got a break, not even in this game, they kept losing people. I got to give them a little love, man, for that. Just a little bit. Just be a little considerate on the fact that you're able to overcome. You know? So I got to give you love for that. William Quigley on the Super Chat. Remember, you can always send in a Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, compliments, whatever. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, because we get 100% of the donation there. YouTube takes 30%. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, just in case. But either way, we appreciate it. William, of course, Cutter's Edge Pro. He says, I don't care how we got here. We are here now. No one is leaving the lots. Fans are fired up. There you go. He's right. Just win. In fact, I think I told Will in the game, I mean, I texted back and forth with so many people, but I said, there's no style points here. Just win the game. Just find a way to win. That's all I wanted you to do against whoever it was. Against the Patriots last week. against the Packers, against the Chargers. I just want you to find a way to win. You had 5 games of you lost by within a score. This season could have been completely different. But I'm not the guy that I fall in love with style points. I don't need that stuff. I just need you to win. So I'm with Will on this one. Just win, man. That's all you got to do. And by the way, if you're in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties, call my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Go to Cutter's Edge Pro. Check out their Instagram page so you can see a lot of the work they do. Will, Mike, all the great people out there. They're a total landscape solution. They do lawns and landscape maintenance for medium to large HOAs, condominiums, corporate parks, and large commercial buildings. I got to tell you, my backyard, front and backyard are heaven, but the backyard, I got the little putting green. I got the artificial turf for the dogs. And if you own dogs, the biggest blessing in the world is artificial turf. Okay. Super easy to maintain. They don't bring any dirt, any mud, anything into the house. It is awesome. Super clean. And you save thousands in the long run because you're not going to be watering and cutting the grass all the time. It's awesome. So go to cuttersedgepro.com. If you own a business, own a home, you want to take it to the next level and increase your value of your business or your home, call the great people at cuttersedgepro.com. All right, what else do we have here? We got Leon Fresco. He says, told you, season not over yet. Salah will be great defensive coordinator next year for us. Need Armstead and Mostert back next week. All right, Leon, thank you for the love on the super chat. Heat Phinz says, inhale, exhale. Man of 1,005 holds. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. A win is a win. Come back Tua. YOLO. Justin Floyd chimes in with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Hopefully the defense now has a formula. Excited to see the show in playoff form. Playoff experience is good. Thank you and Sean for a good season. Hey, listen, the defense, it doesn't have any formula. They played a terrible offense that they could control. And they did their job like they do every single week. They keep you in the game. It's the offense that has to bail them out. Now, in this case, you're not strong on offense or defense anymore because without Tua, I mean, do we need to talk about this anymore? Right? Like Teddy and Skyler can't even hold Tua's jock in their dreams. It just shows you what a difference when you have Tua compared to everybody else. Rude Awakening, thank you for the love on the super chat. If he clears protocol, let Tua loose. Yeah, fans are selfish. They don't care about Tua's well-being. They just give a shit about winning and playing. They don't care about his health. They don't care that this could be, you put him at risk for the 4th concussion, which could really ruin his entire career. Instead, maybe rest him and wait till next year. But I get it. Most fans, they don't care. They just are short-sighted and really don't think about the big picture. Because in the end, when you're saying that, it's because you really don't give a shit what happens to Tua. So, Edward Thurston Howe, thank you for the love on the super chat. Sanders went from 0 to hero this week. Let's talk a little bit about that. Sanders hit the 50-yarder finally, and he hit 2 37s and a 50. Are you really keeping him? No, you're not. You're not keeping him. You're moving on from Jason Sanders. I'm glad he had that moment, but you needed a lot more to be convinced, and it's too late in the season to kind of save your job. So I personally would probably, it depends on what his salary structure is, what commitments you have in the new season, what kind of a bonus does he get, or if he doesn't get anything, till the beginning of next year, then you can bring somebody in for competition. But I'd be very careful there with Sanders. But at least he hit it, man. Thank the Lord. We were all very nervous of that. Chris Gervais, thank you for the love in the super chat. We lost by 3 last time. Tua comes back, we win. Yeah, I mean, with Tua, they would have, if Tua plays the whole season, they would have been already in the playoffs. They would have been a higher seed, but it happens. John Geeb, thank you for the love on the super chat, my friend. Fins up, oh, we did it. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but if you could have your pick of the litter, who would you add to Mike's coaching staff? I don't know who's available. All of you start with the same defensive coordinator. What's his name? The guy from Chicago that was in Denver, Fangio. And none of you even know if he's available, if he wants to coach, if he wants to come back. It's the same shit as all of you. Oh, why don't they sign offensive linemen like Eric Fisher? Well, guess what? Finally, they did sign Eric Fisher. How'd it work out? So I don't know who's available until we actually have real facts. Like who's available? Who's out there? Who are they talking to? So I don't know. I don't know who's available. I can't answer a question without, the material. Hunter Dilemma. Woo! He says on Super Chat. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate you, man. Birthday salami. That's what she said. Big O, I'm happy that McDaniel stuck to the running game. Finally, it took him 18 games. It took him 18 games to win. It took 18 games for X to cover somebody. It took 18 games for McDaniel to win a challenge. It took 18 games for Jason Sanders to hit a 50-yard field goal. It took 18 games for McDaniel to stick to the running game. Man, we got to wait. Holy moly, we got to wait. Damn. That's a lot better than Paul Hardcastle, and then we got to go in 19. True Fin Fan 78 says, man, what would we have done if we were healthy? I know. Carlos Cigarro, every time Skyler passes the ball, an angel gets his wings. Yeah, pretty much. He's a jag, isn't he? Skyler Thompson, he's a complete jag. Total jag. There's nothing there right now that I see. Nothing that I would build on at this moment. There's a piece that I had this week, and it's out there, and I told you how big this game was. He failed in this game completely. And I told you during the week, and I will reiterate and back it up here. If the Dolphins have an ability to go get another quarterback in the second or third rounds, that's a little bit, of a project because that's probably what you're getting, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Nothing about Skyler tells me, oh my God, I got to keep him. I've seen he got more than enough playing time for a seventh rounder. And he showed me nothing. Okay? Nothing. Nothing at all. It's not the preseason, folks, where they're not scheming. There's a lot of you that kind of maybe learned your lesson about the preseason. Justin Hansen. Big O, great to watch this video and be in the playoffs. Wild ride of a season, but glad to listen to you with a playoff appearance finally. Last time was before your big solo career. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, with Adam Gase. With Adam Gase, was I at QAM or was I right at the end of 640? I'm not sure now. Because that's 6 years ago. No, I was at QAM. Yeah, I was at QAM. Tyreek Hill. Care about Tua and Phinz, but I say he will choose to come back, so it'll be Tua, Waddle, Hill, or what a thrill. Hang on for the wild ride. Yeah, but he doesn't control it. He can want to play. Tua, if it's up to Tua, he would have played last week. Okay. Tua's. I saw some guy say, that Tua's mentally weak. And I was like, okay, I'm not even, it's like ridiculous. Like, really. Tua's probably one of the most mentally tough people I've ever seen in my life to come back from all those injuries. And he's fearless. So mentally, he's super tough. I don't know how anybody would say that. That's like asinine to say something like that. But it's not up to him. It's up to the people above. And if I'm them, I'm not playing Tua. I don't care. I'm resting him till next season. I get it. We get the fanaticism takes over. This team is so injury riddled, and yet you want to throw the kid out there with a terrible offensive line. They just lost Brandon Shell. So now you got right tackle problems and you've got left tackle problems. Although Teron Armstead will probably play next week if Tua plays, because he seems to play for Tua, not for anybody else. Okay, but still, you got offensive line issues. I don't want to put that kid in any kind of risk. I just, but you guys convince yourselves that if you play him, oh my God, we might be able to get on a run or whatever. Come on, man. The truth, I think Howard should be traded or cut. The truth is, my brother, I appreciate the super chat. It's way late for that. You're way late. You're 2 years late, my friend. Okay? 2 years late. That's when I said they had to get rid of X. You can't get rid of X now. That's the problem with you all out there. You live in fantasy land. A lot of you fans, the truth, you're living in fantasy land. Who would want Howard now, dude? Who's going to trade for Howard now? All they got to do is watch the tape, watch the injuries, watch the legal issues he has off the field. I told you all about this 2 years ago. 2 effing years ago, I told you now's the time to get off the X bandwagon. But you guys get intoxicated, and you think he's going to get 10 interceptions every year, and you think he's going to stay healthy every year when he doesn't do that every year. And guess what? It looks like the off-the-field issues haven't ended because he has still 2 more court cases. I told you this 2 years ago, but you don't want to part them because that's when you have to have the balls. You have to have the guts to get off the gravy train when it's good. When it's bad, nobody's giving you anything, my brother. And that's why some of you, let's play Tua. We might get on a roll. Why? Because you convince yourselves of that stupid-ass stuff? What would indicate that they would get on a roll when they're so injury-riddled? But why? That fans do things to themselves that I don't understand. Like demanding that the defense go out there and shut people down. And it's like, why? Why would they? They're not that team. And this week, they only did what they did because they were playing a team that cannot score. Did I not tell you in pregame they averaged 12 points a game, 6 points under their normal number? Under Flacco, actually, it's 16. That's the funny part. I mean, this is not, the problem we have a lot of times is that so many of you are unrealistic about this game, And 2 years ago is when you had to trade X. But you held on, and I get why they held on now. Because of the whole Flo thing, Flo ruined the first couple of years of Tua, so they had to put all the eggs in this basket and go for it because they needed to find out about Tua, and so they needed as best a team possible around them to try to win. So they didn't want to have transition in that position, so maybe that's why they didn't part ways. But they should have. They should have done it 2 years ago. But Flo probably did not allow it, right? So you kept them last year with Flo. And so now you have Tua, and you got to make a run, and you lose Byron, and what are you going to do? So you got to roll with him. You got no choice. But you put yourself in this position now. It's some of you just live in fantasy land. And it might hurt to trade X 2 years ago, but you would have gotten a boatload and would have protected you from the idiot owners that you lost first and a third. You would have had extra first and seconds because of X. Now you're not going to get anything for X. Now you have to trade away a high pick for somebody to take that salary because he's injury riddled. He doesn't look like himself. Yeah. Fantasyland. It hurt, right? When I told you got to trade X. Now I'm not wrong anymore, right? Now it's like, oh, yeah, we should have done that. We should have done that. And that is the truth. Logan White, Big O, at what time do you start wondering what our strength and conditioning coaches are doing to constantly? No, dude, it's just bad luck. It's bad luck. It has nothing to do with strength and conditioning, Logan. I appreciate the super chat, my brother, but It has zero to do with strength and conditioning. It's just bad luck. So why isn't Christian Wilkins getting injured? Why isn't Jalen Phillips getting injured? Why isn't Zach Sealer getting injured? Why isn't Kader Kahu getting injured? Why isn't the safety getting injured? You tell me. Why is it that the center stays healthy the entire year? Why is the right guard staying healthy the entire year? You know what I'm saying? Teron Armstead gets injured because he's a sack of injuries. Tua gets injured because he's been a sack of injuries his entire career. X gets injured because he's been a sack of injuries his entire career. You know, you notice the trend on some of these guys? Remember last year? Will Fuller, sack of injuries. If you invest, Chubb, playing with a club, sack of injuries. If you invest in players that are constantly injured, why are you shocked that they're injured? So it has zero to do with the trainers. It has everything to do with some players are not durable and other players just had bad. I mean, Waddle gets banged up at the end. It's a horse collar, dude. What does that have to do with a trainer? I always trip out on that. This is the NFL, man. They have the best trainers, the best medicine, the best everything. Anything and everything that money can buy, the NFL has top notch. Okay? All right? This isn't Mickey Arison, cutting short on the salary cap here. I don't want to pay a luxury tax. The NFL is not worried about that. Okay? Stephen Ross built a hospital on the grounds. There's no cutting corners here in the NFL. Stop it with that stuff, dude. That's ridiculous. Shit happens. Guys get injured. Brandon Jones, what are you going to do? It happens. Nick Needham, Trill Williams, shit happens. And our team had a ton of bad luck, had nothing to do with the trainer. So I'm sorry, my brother. I am going to completely disagree with that. Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. And remember, you can donate a little Bitcoin, which that's my favorite donation right there, a little Bitcoin action. Alex Palenzuela on Venmo, Cash Big O Show. He says, thank God we made the playoffs. Love it. I'm with you, Alexis, I'm sorry. Adam Pinkser, my ass was clenched watching this game. I hope to God Tua is back next week. Fins up. Love beating the Jets. Thank you, Adam. Although I'm not with you on Tua. I don't want Tua back. I know you guys are saying, oh, my God, then we're screwed and all that. And I know you're only worried about one short week, but I want Tua for an entire career. And I know some of you are like, oh, he'll never last and all that. Well, I'm not going to think about it that way. I'm going to hope that he learns how to stay in the pocket, get rid of the football quickly, and live for the next play. Michelle Cracchiola, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show on Venmo or YouTube. Cash App or Venmo. Big O, lots of ups and downs this season, but overall success. If Tua plays, we got a shot to shock the world. And, this is the funny part about all of this, is that you're all right. Because you all know deep down inside, Teddy, Skyler, or Pencil Neck give you no shot to win in Buffalo. By the way, did you guys see Mike Glenn on the sidelines? You see how he can see over the stadium. That's a pretty long neck, bro. That's impressive, too. You can see over the stadium. Forget the line. Over the stadium? Wow, that's awesome. He can, tell you if there's cloud cover or something's coming your way. It's impressive. But I get it. You guys know that with those three guys, you're done. There's no shot. And the only shot you have against the Bills is if Tua plays. Because you saw he beat the Bills last time. Tyreek, Trent Sherfield, Braylon Sanders, they effed it up, but he beat them. He did everything to win. Everybody else did everything to screw it up. Deep down inside, you all know he's the man. He's the man. He's the man. Brett Franz. I'm Hans, and I'm Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Skyler has earned my respect. Kid did his job, even though I never want to see him start again. And I apologize to Jason Sanders for cussing him out every single week through my TV screen. Well, Brett, you can keep cussing him because he sucked this year. I'm glad he hit that field goal, and great. That doesn't make up for the shit year he had. Kevin Beal, thank you for the love on Venmo also. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show on Venmo or Cash App. Chubb, where were you today? Anyway, Big O, finally, I get to smoke my Victory Perdomo cigar, baby. Playoffs, my dude. I personally don't want Tua to play next week for health reasons, but if he does, or Teddy even can, complete game changer against the Bills. Well, with Teddy, I completely disagree with you, my man. I don't mind Teddy marrying my daughter. I don't mind Teddy running my organization. I don't mind Teddy as a friend. I don't mind Teddy as a business partner. I don't mind Teddy as the human being. I don't mind Teddy as the backup quarterback. I don't mind Teddy as the third quarterback. I just don't see Teddy as a starter. That's all. I think he's a jag as a starter, to be quite honest. I think he has no business being a starter in the NFL. By the way, from what I've seen from Skylar Thompson, I don't see a starter there either. They were right when they told me from the building that they think he has potential to be a backup. That's the best that kid can be. I just don't see starter moxie there. Don't see it at all. That's like I said earlier, I would easily draft another quarterback, another young quarterback I'd bring in to back up. You got to do something this year to back up Tua. You better have a much better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. You got to find a way, even if you have to overpay a little bit or trade or do whatever you have to do. Cap for Life, thank you for the super chat. And Sean, keep up with these just in case I don't get all of them. You can't say Skyler didn't do anything. He just beat the second-ranked defense with a backup offensive line. You're the first one to say you're not about style points. Oh, no, I get it. You're not about style points. But a win is a win, baby. I get that. I get that. But he didn't do anything really impressive in this game. He just didn't. Most of the time, he looked like he was over his head. I got to be honest. The team did enough. The running game did enough. And yeah, he was serviceable. But as a quarterback, as a starting quarterback, as a guy coming off the bench, like the way I felt about Don Strock, no. Even Matt Moore gave me something off the bench. Okay? Hell, at times I thought he was better than Tannehill. He had better skill sets for being a QB back there than Tannehill. So there, I've seen a couple of those guys in the history of Dolphins football that you've had a couple of those guys that can come off the bench and really help you out. I just don't see Skyler as that guy, man. I'm sorry, man. He just, nothing. Just a pedestrian, pretty much. Going Holmes 33. Thank you for the love on the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Melwick. Let's see. No, is it Malkowick? I think it's evident we truly need to work on building depth on both of our O-line and secondary. No, dude, they had depth at secondary. They just kept losing. You can't have more depth than what they had. They had great depth at the secondary. They were just at the level of third and fourth stringers already at this point. It's just too much. It just is. You give me, if you had a healthy Byron and a healthy X, think about this, and then you've got Nick Needham healthy, then all of a sudden, Trill Williams and Kader Kohu are your two deep guys. So now you've got 5. But you're down to number 6, Igbenogany, or 6, Crossan, 7, Igbenogany, or 7, Bethel, 8, Igbenogany, And then at safety, you got your studs, and you lose one, And now you've got there, okay, you want to, but who's going to fill in Brandon? Are you going to have somebody as multifaceted as Brandon that can rush the passer, that can be stout against the run, that can cover? I don't know about that, man. That's kind of unfair. They had depth. They had depth overall. And the O-line, well, the left tackle sucked, right? Eichenberg. Well, you had Robert Jones fill in. The right tackle, Austin Jackson, didn't do well. Well, Brandon Shell was found, and he did a good job. Hunt did well. Connor did well. It was Armstead that couldn't stay healthy. Offensive line, they actually had the depth to fill in, but it just gets to a point where you start losing the third guy and all that. You lose Austin Jackson, so Brandon Shell takes over. And now you lose Brandon Shell, you got a third tackle. It's unfair, man. They did pretty good overall, man. Merv, longevity for Tua is more important than one game. That's what I'm trying to say, Merv. That's what I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to protect the young man long term. That's what I'm hoping. Malkowick, Merv, thank you for the love on the super chat. Manny J. Snow, I don't care how we made it in. I'm a Dolphins fan first, and I'm going to sit back and throw back a couple of cold ones and enjoy the crap out of this win. LFG Dolphins. There you go. I'm with you, Manny J. Snow. Enjoy it. They made it to the playoffs. They got a winning record out of it, 9-8, which is also important. Conrad Esanat, thank you for the love on the super chat. He's got like a Scarface on his profile. Malkowick with another. He says, no disrespect, Big O, but we won't have Xavien or Byron next year. Hence, no. Actually, no. They will have X next year. Oh yeah. They cannot cut both. The cap hits that they would take would be brutal, I think. So I don't believe that. Byron is gone. I think they'll bring back X for one more year and then release him in 2024. Now, can I give you a little bit of a bright spot about X? X and his agent know that next year is their last year. X knows he's going to want to make more money. And he's going to have several years left on this contract that he's not going to see. So in order for him to get more money from someone else, what does he have to do? So you will get a personally motivated Xavien Howard next year. So I bet you he will work his ass off in the offseason to make sure he's in great shape, and he's going to try to stay as healthy as he can. You can't control that sometimes, but he is going to be playing very motivated to either force the Dolphins to say, well, we got to keep him another year. He played outstanding. Or somebody else say, hey, that's a pretty good player the Dolphins are about to release. Let's go get him. Okay? So he will be motivated next year. That's actually the cool thing about X returning. Just want to throw that out there. Fish, what's up, O? Do you think the D will step it up even more and carry us to postseason victories? No, why would they? You guys keep asking me this. Why would they? They played the Jets. They have no offense. That's the problem. You guys then build up yourselves for disappointment. This is a mediocre defense. They have been mediocre pretty much all year long. The most they can do is keep you in games. And that's exactly what they do week in and week out, Fish. Stop it already. Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas and Pat Surtain and Sam Madison are not here. You're not being carried by any defense at all. All the money is on offense. Now, without Tua, the offense is dog shit. We know that. If you have Tua, then you got to carry it. The defense will not carry, will not dictate, will not win any games for you. None. They will contribute to help you to win a game. They will keep you in a game. They will not win the game for you. They will not dominate. They will not do anything to become the force in that game at all. The quicker all of you understand that, maybe the quicker you'll realize that defense might have actually overachieved this year considering what you had left on it. Better shot without Tua? On what? Losing? Big O, you said you have to support your Dolphins after talking so bad about them. Yeah, dude, I support the Dolphins when it's Adam Gase or Cam Cameron coaching them. I got to support them. I support Ryan Tannehill, even though I know he's dog crap. I'm stuck with the team. There's nothing to do with that. I'm always going to root for the team. What it's not going to stop me is from telling the truth about what's going on with the team. That's the difference. Fan sites or fans in general, they get all touchy about their team. That's why there's lots of fans that will not watch this show or listen to the show over the years, because there are those fans that are like everything is rosy and everything's going to be great and they're going to win every game by 11 and they're going to win 13 games every year. Those kind of fans don't want to hear any truth. That's why. So, yeah, we love the team. We root for him, but we're going to tell you what's up. I like McDaniel, but he sucks as a game day coach. He's actually, let's be honest now, he's actually one of the worst game day coaches I've seen in a Dolphin uniform. Yeah. One of the worst game day coaches I have ever seen in a Dolphins uniform, Mike McDaniel's top 5. He's got to work on that, man. He's got to work on that and work on that big time. Got to stop screwing up challenges. Got to know how to use your weapons. You can't allow a guy like Gesicki to rot there all season long because you're ignorant, because you're hard-headed, because it's your offense, and he can't block, and so I can't use him. That's bullshit. And the last 3 weeks, he proved that you were wrong all season long for not using him. And you come from a run-oriented offense, and you don't stick to the run until the 18th game of the season. No wonder Kyle Shanahan choked his ass away from a Super Bowl, because he had a 25-point lead, and he refused to run. So there's a lot of stuff that McDaniel has to work on game days. I don't want to see any of this stuff go on again next year. I will lose my mind if McDaniel's pulling the same shit next year. If he's pulling the same shit next year, he's costing them games. He needs to go. Okay? So better fix it. He better become a much better game manager during each Sunday, because what he's done this year has been embarrassing. Dude, he was going to go for a 59-yard field goal. I was going to lose my mind. The fact that they even thought of lining up for that 59-yard field goal, I'm thinking, what is wrong with you? What are you trying to do? That's not trying to draw them off sides. You don't line up for a 59-yard field goal to try to draw them off sides. Early in the game, you're at midfield, dude, and you actually go for 4th down. You're playing the terrible offense, and you give away field position for that entire quarter. That's stupid coaching, bro. Like, that is incredibly stupid-ass coaching. So, yeah, I love the Dolphins. I'm a big McDaniel fan, but I'm the first guy to tell McDaniel, yo, what up with this, dude? So, yeah, there's a difference, man. You can love the team, you can root for them, but you can also be actually honest about when they have their shortcomings. It's much better to deal with it that way. So, Fish, don't expect the defense to ever step up. Jonathan Cagle, Big O, I'm going to drop this picture of Kohu off to you at the Acura Pembroke Pines. Is there anyone I should leave it with? Yes, Larry Schlossberg. We'll be there next Friday. Okay? So I don't know if you can hold on to it, but we'll be there next Friday, Jonathan. Thank you so much, man. That is very nice of you. But yeah, leave it in an envelope and give it to Larry Schlossberg. He's the boss. When you walk in, well, actually, if you walk into the front entrance, in the main entrance, he's to the right, far right corner. You'll see he's a tall guy, bald, and he's got a beard. Okay? So there you go. Larry Schlossberg. And then ask him if you're looking for an Acura, he can take care of you. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Chris Dravez says someone text Flores to get comfy on his couch to watch us next week. Love you, Chris. Appreciate that one. Malkowick says, last question, Big O. What positions do you attack in the offseason? Middle linebacker, backup quarterback, offensive tackle. Those three are my top. Blocking tight end, blocking pass catching tight end, because I guess he's got this, whole love affair with it. And those are really hard to find. Those really athletic guys that can block and catch. But those are some of the positions that you've got to definitely look at. Running back too. You need a running back stud, man. Big O, birthday salami. That's what she said. Big O, that's what she said. You think McDaniel has the potential to grow into a better coach with experience? Hell yeah, he's smart. So all these stupid mistakes that McDaniel makes, come on, man. He's a smart guy. He's got to be able to figure out what to do to get better, put himself in better position to win those what's it called? Win the challenges. He's got to do that. And he's got to, I hope his assistant coaches are like, Coach, we got to run the ball here. I hope Chris Greer is telling him we got to run the ball here a little bit more. Come on. So we'll see. Going home, 33 says Ahmed should be a bigger part of the Big O. Yeah, he knows the offense, and he had a nice little run there at the end. So, yeah, I'm with you. Damn, thought we were playing the Chiefs. Do you really want to? I'd rather play Buffalo than the Chiefs. Do you know why? You know Buffalo. You've played them a couple times already. It's a lot better that way, man. I'd rather have it that way. All right, see what Marcel has got for us here. See if we got him showing up here and helping us out here, coming out of the locker rooms. Let's see what we got on Venmo. We got Greg Seshi says, thanks for keeping us in the loop. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. On the Dolphins front, by the way, let me make sure we got no, I know Sean overlooked everything, but I don't know if there's any like game-breaking stuff here for the Dolphins. I don't think I see any real big-time news overall. Hey, by the way, I saw Dolph Freaky was out cheering the crowd out at the stadium. They should use any every game. They won today, by the way. Okay? Just like we got to use next week. By the way, Phinz UK Nation, you know that if we win next week, Phinz Nation UK, if we win next week, Phinz Nation UK, because I'm gonna wash this shirt and wear it again next week. Got to wear it again. But if we win next week, you guys do know that you're going to have to send me a few more shirts, right? For next year. Because, we might have found the mojo that works. I tried everything else. Phinz Nation UK is what came through today. Love it. Sean Campbell, you stud. Thank you, sir. He sent in some love on Cash App on Cash Big O Show. And he says, for Go Phinz. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Sean Campbell, as always. Big-time supporter of the program. Thank you. All right, what else do we have going on? When do we play next week? Wow, never thought I'd say that this year. I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, we won our bet. We had over 8.5. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, man, I forgot about that. We won our bet. I don't know where I have where did I put my ticket? I don't even know where I put my gambling ticket. I wonder if I gave it to my wife. But I forgot about that. We got the over 8.5, man. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Make a couple bucks. I thought I had that one really easy, by the way, at the beginning of the year. I thought that was money in the bank to have that one, man. Oh, my God. I would have hurt if we didn't get that one. Tuttle says we need to upgrade CB. Jones and X-Men are not earning their big contracts. Well, no, Jones is gone. I already told you X will be back next year. And he'll get healthy, and he'll be incredibly motivated. If you didn't hear it, you might need to rewind a little bit there, Tuttle. And I think Kohu will take over as the other guy opposite of Jones, and you'll have Needham in the slot. I think that's what will end up happening. And then you've got Trill Williams also, who was developing. So you've got already a bunch of young guys there. You could add another one. Papa says if we didn't make the playoffs, we would have made a big move next year just to get healthy. We'll see. They will have cap space. What they don't have, where they won't have a lot of flexibility, is that they don't have a lot of draft capital to trade. That's going to be the problem for them. But in free agency, you can always make some moves. And it's not like they're so strapped that they're going to lose the Gesicki money. They're going to open up some space with Byron Jones. They'll open up space with several people. So they'll be fine. They'll have space. They do have to pay Christian Wilkins. Very important to pay Christian Wilkins. Able Dog, thank you for the love on the super chat, my man. Second time in NFL history a game finished 11-6. That's a fun fact. I had no idea. Thank you, sir. Phil Montgomery comes in strong with a super chat. Thank you, sir. Skyler showed serious toughness today. Anyone disappointed with him had unrealistic expectations. I think he can be QB2 in 2023 and maybe more later. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that, Phil. Sorry. Is he a tough kid? Sure. Is he a good quarterback? No, he's not. He's not an accurate quarterback. He doesn't have any anticipatory skills. He takes too long to read. I completely disagree with you. I think what Skyler has proven to me is if you can find a better draft pick next year, do it. Okay? And I'll keep repeating it, and I'll keep stealing the idea from Manny Navarro. You get a Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, I'll take him over Skyler every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And he's not going in the first round. He'll probably go in the second, third rounds. I'd rather take a project like that than work on Skyler. I've seen almost enough of Skyler to, I don't see it there. That's the difference between you and me and anybody else that, buys into Skyler at this point in time. Devin Jordan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, that field goal might have saved Jason Sanders' career, LOL. It wouldn't save his job for me. I'd cut his ass anyways at the end of the year. I'd go get another kicker. Plus, I'd go get a draft pick so I could pay him less and go under and sail under the cap a little bit more. So, what else do we have here? Art of the Sport says, I should make the trip to Buffalo from Tampa next weekend. Is it worth the money and time? Not sure what Skyler's Phinz will keep it competitive. Go Phinz. Dude, listen. Art of the Sport. Okay, this is how you got to handle the game next week. Are you a Dolphins fan? Do you want the experience of going to a Dolphins game? Then go. Go to the road. Go enjoy a game over in Buffalo with that crowd, all that good stuff. Do not expect to win. Do not go there, build yourself up. Don't even do that. They're so injury-riddled. They're not even close to that team. And if they don't have Tua, they have no shot. But as long as you go with that attitude that you're going to go have fun and join, cheer your team on, and hey, if something crazy happens, they win, fantastic. But if they don't kick yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Oh, my God, why did I do this? No, man. Just go enjoy it. It's a playoff experience. Even if it's going to be a bad one. But at least if you kind of know that they're going to lose, it shouldn't bother you that much. But if you want to go just for the experience of it, and by chance they get lucky and the ball bounces their way and they win, then my God, you're in one of the most amazing playoff games in Dolphin history. Because if they win next week, it would be one of the most amazing games in Dolphin playoff history because they have no business winning that game. The real O305 says, it was your hair loose. That's the good luck charm. Ah, the flowing locks, huh? So you're saying that Trevor Lawrence and I can get you into the playoffs. I got you. You got to have the free-flowing locks, Although I want to see those locks for Trevor when he's 56, like me. Okay, that's the thing. You gotta have these locks and this color at 56. And by the way, I've been in radio for 33 years. Considering that I've been in radio for 33 years and the hell that I've been through, for my hair to still be pretty much black and have very few, like, what right here, right? There's a little gray right there, but very little. I have very little gray. I'm very lucky. So maybe it is the locks. Maybe it is Red Recover allowing me to continue to grow and fill up the hole in my head there, my natural yarmulke. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. You never know. Thank you, Art of the Sport. Thank you, Real 305. I appreciate you. Real 305. Let's see. Concepcion. Is this the same guy that played for the Big Red Machine? McDaniel needs help. Put game on rookie's hand by throwing on first and second downs when the game is on the line. Yeah, McDaniel's game managing leaves a lot to be desired, my brother. There's no doubt about it. He's cost you games. He's part of the reason why you're out, why you were almost out of the playoffs, why you barely made the playoffs. He's part of it. Big O, do they have business winning any game, even a playoff game? The fact is, they got there to be in position to win. That's it. But I don't want you to beat yourself up going about, we're going to win, and we're going to run the ball on them, and Skyler's going to play the game of his life, and he's going to complete, and he's going to throw for 280 yards and 3 times. Don't do that to yourselves. Just don't do that. Go to the game. Go to Niagara Falls. Go to Toronto. Enjoy yourselves. Go for a couple of days. It's a 45-minute drive, if I remember correctly, to Toronto. It's a really fun place. Go to Niagara Falls. It's a hell of an experience. Then go to the game. It's a whole great experience if you go up there to go do that. Just don't build yourself up to kind of, hurt yourself, in other words. Big O question of the day from AZ. If we were completely healthy, and I know this is hypothetical, but what do you think our chances would be next week? Oh, they beat their ass. They beat their ass a couple weeks ago. And they were injured then. But you tell Tyreek and Sherfield not to drop those touchdowns. Tell Braylon Sanders to run for another touchdown. Tell Mike McDaniel not to go for a 2-point conversion early in the third when you're moving the ball, you idiot. How about running the ball when you're gouging them at 7 yards a carry? And on 31, 32, and 33, you fail to run, you pass instead. You would have kept those drives alive. You might have even added more points. You beat their asses that night. You beat yourself. That's why you lost that game. Buffalo didn't beat them. They beat themselves in that game. The coaching staff made terrible decisions. Players failed to make plays. The game was there to be had. So you give me a healthy Dolphins team, and they beat Buffalo. Patriots were giving them trouble. And then they pulled away. So I'm sorry. I'm not that guy that, gets all flustered about the Bills and all this stuff. They can beat them, man. They already beat them once this year. They should have beat them twice. That's it. So, yeah, Byron's not coming back at all, sir. Yeah, I think by now you might want to give up on that one. The party's over. Bubba says nothing to see in Buffalo besides some Buffalo statues on 190. Hit the falls in Canada. Yeah, that's it. Toronto and the falls and watch the game. The party's over. Bubba is 1,000% right. That's exactly what I told you. Enjoy the playoff experience. I've been there myself for a loss. I think it was a loss. I've been up there for a loss. And I also went to Niagara Falls and all that stuff. So that's what you would do, man. It happens. No big deal. You're no longer on radio. Now you're technically on TV. Well, actually, that's not true, Rio 305. If you're in the car and you have a smart car or smartphone, I am on your radio. So there you go. You can put me on your radio. The audio can come through. It doesn't always have to be TV. You really don't want TV on this one, right? I mean, this face, this is not a face made for TV. This is a face made for the underground, but whatever, at least radio. Okay? Like miles and miles under the ground, they should be hiding me. I mean, I look as bad as the Elephant Man. Stephen Rowell says, thank you for the love on the super chat, my man. He says, first time Dolphins win without a TD since a 9-6 win versus the Ravens in 2003. Okay. All right. Jamie Lobo says, only thing great about Buffalo is La Nona Restaurante, 65-year local establishment with great wings and pizza. Okay. La Nona Restaurant. Couldn't wait for this football game, but a baseball game broke out. It's a pretty high-scoring baseball game, 11-6. Dolphins make the playoffs, but don't play Tua to win. If he's available, what's the point? His future? No, again, Jules, I totally understand. You don't give a shit if the kid gets killed on the field. You don't care if he's concussed again. You don't care if he never can play again, if he has lingering headaches forever. I get it, man. It's Jules, to you, it's just, no, let's try to win. And where are you going this year? Is this really a Super Bowl caliber team? Come on. Like, you have zero football IQ if you tell me that this is a Super Bowl caliber team. But it's all right. Like I said, a lot of you just don't care about the kid. That's all. You don't really give a shit. You just want to win the game. You don't care what happens to him. A lot of you that want him to play, you weren't believers in him anyways, because I know what's also going on too. You didn't believe he could play. Now at least the injury thing might be saving your ass because you were wrong about him not being able to play. But since now he's out, you don't really care. So then you want to put the pressure out there like, oh, no, he should play. Why not? Why not? I don't care. If he gets injured and he's out of the league, it doesn't matter. Hell, I can use it as my defense. I know what's going on here, man. Been around the block a couple times. Daniel Barrios, thank you for the love on Venmo. Big O, love McDaniel and his potential, but I do agree with everything you're saying. He has a lot to clean up. Another thing would be the penalties. There have been way too many this season. Yeah, penalties, guys making mistakes. They don't know where to line up. I am 1,000% with you on that. Yeah, he's got to clean it up. As a coach, he needs to clean it up. I am with you on that one. And I like him, but I'm not going to give him a pass just because I like him. I'm not saying to get rid of him, but he's got a lot to grow. All right, let's take a quick break here as we wait for Marcel. I've been talking for, I don't know, like an hour and a half straight or something. Let me rest the voice a little bit here. Give me 2 minutes. Hopefully Marcel Louis-Jacques will be joining us here on the other side, right here on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
All right. On a happy post-game show. I'm happy. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. Okay, I'm not happy about the injuries. I'm frustrated with the injuries. I'm frustrated that we've got this like dark cloud hanging over this damn franchise. I'm not happy that the owners cost us a first and a third round pick. I'm not happy that Tua unfortunately has to deal with, concussions. I'm sure his family and his wife and, they're not happy either with that either. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things not to be happy about. But guess what? There's also a lot of NFL fans that are not happy that their team didn't make it into the playoffs. Okay? Patriots fans are not happy. Steelers fans are not happy. Lots of other fans that did not make the playoffs. The team you played today, the Jets, they were in the playoff race up until last week when they lost. And that was their, end of their run. So there's a lot of teams that are on the outside looking in. And anything and everything that could have gone bad for the Miami Dolphins did. And having said all that, you still were able to overcome. I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool. That part is pretty cool. Am I frustrated with Mike McDaniel, the game day coach? Yes, I am. Of course I am. Am I frustrated that Jeff Wilson gets injured? Mostert gets injured while they're playing well? Yes. Am I frustrated that Brandon Shell got injured? Yes. Am I frustrated that Teron Armstead couldn't play again? Yes. There's a lot of frustrations going on. But we got to rise above all that stuff and enjoy the moment. And maybe it won't be fun next week. Maybe the Bills have their way with us and we see our team, struggle big time. But what are you going to do, man? They made it to the playoffs. It is what it is. And now we got to hope that they can kind of reset in the offseason and come up with a better season and, a higher place in the playoffs. That would be very, very nice. So keep it a little positive. And don't forget, by the way, to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important. I don't know how much I've fallen behind. Is it Eric Fabregat, the last super chat? I'm not exactly sure because I know you're keeping up with that. I'm going to go Eric. Nico. Okay. For those going to Buffalo next week, make sure, as the late, great Mad Dog would say, you ask for a room without a view. Every time I go to Buffalo, I walk up to the hotel and I tell the hotel desk attendant I'd like a room without a view. So, yes, he is right. He is right. You don't want one. Next up, is it Eric or somebody else? I have Eric's here. Oh, what you got there? What you got? Going home says Tua should be on the sideline supporting the team. I'm with you going home. We'll see. Is that Tua and Marino? What is that?
That is Tua and Mostert watching the victory celebration from the tunnel. One of the TV cameramen snapped it from the back.
Okay. You know that crazy son of a bitch wants to play. Okay. I love when people question his toughness. I love that. Like, he just shows complete opposite of toughness. He is super tough. He's as tough as they get. Oh, no, he's not tough enough. He's polar opposite of that, my brother. Okay? You're not as tough as he is. That's what I would say. Most of you and most of us aren't as tough as he is. That dude is tough, man. He would have played last week. I bet that crazy bastard would have played. I just hope they keep him out and protect him from him because he doesn't know how to protect himself, unfortunately. Is Eric the next one after Nico? Just got to make sure before I start at the ones I can see because I run out by that time. And then I'm not sure. If we miss one of your super chats, please tell us. But Eric Fabregat says, besides the Power Slave tour, and he's talking about Iron Maiden for those of you out there, what is your favorite concert you've attended at the Sporto? Well, I would go, first of all, I would take Peace of Mind over Power Slave. Okay, I went to the Sporto for the Peace of Mind tour, so I would do that one over that. Now, Ozzy Motley Crue was amazing. Scorpions, Bon Jovi. Van Halen, 1981, Fair Warning. One of my favorite concerts at the Sportatorium. Rush, Exit Stage Left, where we got tear gassed. It's a few, man. I got to keep thinking here. Some pretty good ones I can come up with. The Sporto was, amazing. But those are it right there. Those are a couple there, Eric, to get you going. But I'm taking Peace of Mind over Power Slave. And the Power Slave tour was amazing. Pat in Asheville. Been saying all year, thank you for the love on the super chat. This team hasn't played one complete game, and they are in the playoffs. Imagine when the units start clicking next year. Amen. That is true. That is very true, Pat. Thank you for the love in the super chat. Eric Echevarria, face not made for TV. Joe told us that about the bangy dangy. Joe's a good dude. I'm glad for him, man. At least the team got in. Again, Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Venmo. Ohio John, thank you, sir. He says, me and the wife's weekend in Miami capped off with a playoff clinching win. While it wasn't the prettiest game, it was so much fun being in the stadium with other fans when that kick went through. There you go. There you go, Ohio John. That's what it's all about, baby. That is what it's all about. That is fantastic. And they what's it called? Tied the knot, or at least made the commitment last year here. And then they got married. So pretty cool, Ohio John. Nice job by you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You can make a donation. And, of course, you can also donate Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin. So if you donate Bitcoin, that's my favorite kind of donation there at Cash App or Venmo. Rumesh Lance says, can Sky be a reliable backup for Dolphins long-term? Right now, I'm not buying him as a backup. Maybe that's his peak, but I still don't see a guy that can move the offense enough. I still see a guy that needs to be schemed for massively in order for him to have success. So I need to see a lot. Big O loves mediocrity. No, not me. My wife does. That's why she married me, but not me. I love excellence. That's why I married my wife. She loves mediocrity. She married me. Oh, AC/DC, for those about to rock, I was there. The cannons inside the Hollywood Sportatorium were deafening. Okay? I don't know how my eardrums weren't blown out that day in the Hollywood Sportatorium for AC/DC, for those about to rock. Wow. Underrated album, by the way. Of course, Back in Black is, a perfection, right? From beginning to end. And Highway to Hell is a great album. There's a lot of good AC/DC albums, but for those about to rock, I think is kind of underrated. I think it's an awesome, awesome album. St. Michael says, imagine what this country would look like if our military and cops decided not to intervene in violent crimes because they might get hurt. That's their job. That's the difference. So you got to do that. You don't have to do something when you're injured. That you can rest. You can relax. So it's a different ball game. Once they give you a gun, you're there to protect. Military, cops, whatever. That's kind of the game, Big O Show, do a show tomorrow. You look sick. I'm worried about your health. I look sick? Wow. Oh, the bags? Dude, I'm the Benicio del Toro of radio. That's always, I've always had the bag issue. So, yeah. Well, who knows, man? I might even die tonight or tomorrow morning or something. Who knows? Maybe you're right. So, who knows? Phinz started rebuild. No, middle of the pack is no good year after year. No, it's not. This year was not acceptable. Nobody is saying that it's acceptable. I don't think anybody has said that this season is acceptable. The season has been pretty much a failure, is what it's been. He had to win 11 or 12 games to make it a successful season, and he failed to do that. So, bottom line, he would have to beat Buffalo in order for this to be a successful season. This has been a failed season already, but nobody has said that. All I've said is, considering all the crap that's gone on, at least they snuck in, which is pretty good. It's not bad. The Wayne D experience says, Big O, we need the Angels in the end zone for us next week. Do you think Tua plays? I've already said it. I wouldn't play him. I think it's dumb on behalf of the Dolphins to put him at any risk for his fourth concussion. I know two are only legal and the Buffalo one doesn't count, but I'm going to count the Buffalo one because, as I've said before, that third concussion happened too easy. Too easy. And that tells me that at this moment, he is not ready to keep taking hits. And he needs some time off to recover. Hal Habib, by the way, did a great job in the Palm Beach Post. Go find the article where he's talking with Chris Nowinski, who is a Harvard grad, former athlete, concussion expert, all that kind of stuff. Read it. Read it. And I agree with him. He went to Harvard. He studied medicine. He's an expert in concussions. He's suffered concussions as a former athlete, a former hockey player, I believe. Okay. And he talks about Sidney Crosby's, who Sidney Crosby's concussions are like 8 of them, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, something crazy. But one of the things he talked about in that article is that he always gives himself time to recover from them so he can then continue so they don't happen as frequently. And I think that's what Tua needs this time around. I think he needs time off. Okay? He does. His crazy ass would have played today, maybe even last week, and he'll play next week if it's up to him. You can't pull Tua out. The guy suffered a concussion against the Bills and came back. He suffered a concussion against Green Bay and didn't say a damn thing and played. And you know his clock got rocked. He just didn't say anything. He shook it off, and then he thought he could play through it, and he played like dog crap. And he, noticed that he can't. He was a wrestler, you said? Okay. I'm not sure. I thought it was also a hockey player. Oh, a wrestler? Is it a wrestler, Sean? Is that why you're giving me the thumbs up?
He was a wrestler. I don't know about the other stuff he'd done before. So
okay,
he was an athlete beforehand, but
right.
Questions in pro wrestling, and he left wrestling early and started the Head Trauma Foundation that he heads up now.
Right. Go check out that article from Hal. It's an excellent article, and I agree with him. And I think that's what they should do it to him. Just give him some time off. It sucks, but you're not going anywhere anyway. It doesn't really matter. And it's not worth putting his health at risk permanently. Some guy says GNR Metallica in 92 in Orlando. I love how people then start taking it to other places. Like the question was at the Hollywood Sportatorium, which is a former barn that is historic in South Florida. And then people now start chiming in with all kinds of other concerts in other places that weren't the Sportatorium. For that, then we'll end up with it wasn't the best show you've ever seen. It was the best show you've ever seen at the Hollywood Sportatorium. Oh, if it's for that, then everybody's going to chime in with concerts all over the world. Yeah, Sean, what do you got?
My best concert I saw at the Hollywood Sportatorium, WrestleMania 1. I went and closed caption and saw at the Hollywood Sportatorium. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Gus 1388, Dolphins keeping Brian Flores out of the playoffs for 4 years in a row. Oh, that is a nice line, Gus 1388. I like that. I like that one. That is very good. Thank you for the super chat. Toby Marmorino says, cha-ching, cashing my 8.5 wins, over 8.5 wins ticket in the AM. I'm with you, Toby. I'm cashing mine in too. Sebastian Ramirez says, I think we draft a QB high or go after Lamar. Well, that would be incredibly stupid. I'll be ripping everybody in the Dolphin organization if they go after Lamar Jackson. That'll be fantastic. Let's go after a guy that can't pass. That makes all the sense in the world. Let's go after a guy that has crappy accuracy. Yeah, that always pays off. Yeah, because he does a fantastic job every time he gets to the playoffs. Every time. Yeah. How was he against a bad defense down up by 21 against the Dolphins? He kept peeing in his pants, huh? Yeah, because they needed a quarterback at that moment, not a running back. Yeah, he's an exceptional running back. Some of you, I don't know what you're watching, to be quite honest, when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I really don't know what some of you are watching. But knock yourselves out. I know this. I will not be a happy camper next year if they would actually do something that catastrophically stupid. Okay? Because that would be an incredibly stupid move on their part. Nathan Walter, been listening to you since Sirius, called and spoke to you right after the Josh Rosen trade. I consider playoffs a success this year. Bright days ahead. They got to win the playoffs. Unfortunately, Nathan, you had to win more games and get into a higher seed in order for me to be happy with the season. I can't be happy with the season. What I am happy with is that they survived this terrible season and they still made the playoffs. That I am happy about. I'm with you there. But I cannot, no way. And Sebastian, my God. Draft a QB in the second or third rounds, I can see that. But Lamar Jackson, oh my God. I would just, because then we're done. Right. So, yeah, do everything opposite of what Big O says, and we should be all right. Yeah, like keeping X. That was a good plan. It's a really good plan to keep X. And that paid off immensely. Madonna's first tour at the Hollywood Sportatorium. What was that like? La Isla Bonita, whatever that. What's the name of that album? The first album she did it at Casanova's. So it must have been like a Virgin or what's the one with the one right after? Had to have been one of those two. Because Madonna's first tour for her debut album, she went to Casanova's, actually. The Steelers and Pats historically have traded players still on the plus side of the ledger. I don't know. Lofi says, Lamar means you don't need an Armstead, means you're in the playoffs. He has the NFL record of 28 points per game since entering the NFL. Yeah. It's a great record to have. And what does he do in the playoffs, Lofi? What do all those points? See, the problem where so many of you get it wrong is that Lamar Jackson in that offense is nothing more than a novelty. And because it's so hard to prepare for during the regular season, it has its advantages. But once you get to the playoffs, the elite defenses take over. And then they just say, shut the defense down. That kid can't beat you with his arm. And it's over because he's too inaccurate. So 28 points per game means nothing to me. None of that means anything to me. I watch him all the time when he has to be in a battle with a real quarterback, and he loses every single time. It's a Mickey Mouse offense that can only play with the lead. If it ever falls behind, it's over. Unless you're a really bad team, and then maybe you can let them back in the game. But good teams, once you take a lead on them, it's over. I mean, go back and watch the Miami game. The dude has a 21-point lead against a bad defense, and he can't score. And here's Tua driving him down, catching up, closing the points, then taking the lead, and he can't answer every single time against a bad defense. That's why when he gets to the playoffs, Lofi, he looks like he's lost because all he can do is run. So, listen, they want to do that. That's fine. I will be very frustrated because I know our Dolphins aren't going anywhere, and then I'll be ripping everybody in that organization. All right? So if they want to do that, go ahead, because that would be an incredibly stupid move. Jose says, hey, man, just remember the 9-7 Giants took out the undefeated Patriots. Jose, thanks for the super chat. Do you remember the defense they had, my man? Come on, dude. Coño. Let's go, bro. Use a little common sense. If you're going to make a comparison, do something that's equal or right in the same neighborhood. You're comparing the Giants defense to the Dolphins defense. You know, some of you out there, I mean, again, fans, you just put yourselves in a position to fail because you do dumb analogies like that. Oh, we have a drop. We have a drop for Jose here, Sean. We have a drop for this so-called super chat. Just remember the 9-7 Giants took down the undefeated Patriots. How do we answer that, Sean?
Save your brain cells. Stupid chat. Stupid chat. Stupid chat.
Mario, thank you for the love on the super chat. Is Tua going to play against the Bills? We'll see. We'll see. We will find out, my friend. I wouldn't play him, but whatever. Sebastian Ramirez, if not Lamar, who? With Tua, I am scared to lose another season. And what do you win with Lamar? I must have missed out on that. What did you win with Lamar? What happened there? I'm sorry. How many championships have they won in the Ravens? AFC AFC titles? I'm sorry. I must have missed this. Where's all that great winning in the playoffs with Lamar? Damn. Yeah, you're right. No, we got to have that. Ohio John, do you ever miss being at games in person? Not really. Not really. No. I enjoy watching them on television. I get more, I get to do my job a lot better. If I'm going to be a fan, Ohio John, then yeah, I'll go to the games. But if I got to do this, no, I got to be in front of a television, rewinding, pausing, looking, whatever, so I can actually do my job. You know what I'm saying? When you're sitting in the stands, you don't get to see everything. It's not the same. It's just to do this job, I don't even care to be at the stadium at all. Now, if I don't have to do the job and I can just go be a fan, then yeah, I love being at the stadium and having some fun. Sure. I would have no problem with that. It's 0-0, and while I don't expect much from the Phinz, this team gets playoff experience for next year. Coach is young, made several rookie coaching mistakes. Anyway, adelante, go Canes. The playoff game is meaningless because we don't have a QB, you mammals. Sam is right. It's just a matter of just being in the playoffs and getting a little experience for some of the young guys, and that's about it. Nothing more, nothing less. Where the hell is Marcel, dude? Like, I don't have a voice to be going for hours and hours and hours. All right. Is Tua a definite no? I don't know, John. You're gonna have to go ask them. I have no idea. I know I wouldn't play him, but I'm not the guy that makes the decisions. John says Josh Allen breaks down a bit when talking about how emotional he was after the opening kickoff TD. I was going around telling guys, God, it's real. It was spiritual. Cleo Lemon available? How are you so positive that Tua will not play? Frankie, do you listen to the show? Some of you really aren't good at listening. Did I say that he's not playing, or did I say I would not play him? I don't know what they're going to do, but I wouldn't play them. I think that's what I keep saying. See, that's the problem with some of you. Then this guy goes and tells his buddy, oh, you see, O says he's not going to play. And then when he plays, oh, see, O's an idiot. He told us he wasn't going to play. Never said that. You guys, some of you really have a hard time listening to people, do you? Like, pay attention. I said I would never play him. I don't know what they're going to do. If they want to be stupid and play him, they can go ahead and be stupid and play him. And I know some, if he's cleared, they're not being stupid. I don't care. I look at it as a moronic move. I look at it, you've had 3 concussions this year. I would not risk a 4th. That's the way I look at it. So for me, it's catastrophically stupid to put his future at risk for a game that means really nothing in the big picture because you're not going anywhere as a team. If you were fully healthy and loaded and you were a hell of a team and you got a real chance at a Super Bowl, then I get it. But that's not who you are. That's not who you've been for a long time now. So why would anything change now at this point? But again, listen to the people that you're actually watching or downloading. Pay attention to what they're saying. At no point did I say he's not playing. I said I would not play him. I get it. It's the playoffs, big Dolphin. I get it, man. And I guess we're repeating ourselves. Whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, this team. Okay, let me put it this way, Dolphin. Explain to me. It's the playoffs. I want you to answer this question for me. This is the one I love. So, do they have a chance at the Super Bowl? Is this team that good that you've got to get them in the lineup because you have a real chance of winning the Super Bowl? Please tell me, Dolphin. What do you think about that? Is that why you want to play them? Because you think they have a shot at winning the Super Bowl? Please tell me that. I want to see the answer. I'm not seeing any answer, Dolphin. Where's it at? Do they have a chance for the Super Bowl? Do they have a chance? Is this a Super Bowl caliber team that you've got to play Tua? Where's the answer? I'm not seeing it. Vince McKay, you're a dumbass. Okay? Man of 1,005 holds, you're out of your freaking mind. Dre, you smoke too much dope. Juan, you're smoking crack. What else? I just want to beat Buffalo. You guys don't care about Tua. You guys don't give a shit about the human being at all. That's all it proves. You don't care. Either that or you were never really a believer of the kid. So you don't care if you serve him up for the 4th concussion. I mean, really, you got to be pretty dense to think that this team can actually go to the Super Bowl. Come on, man. I mean, seriously. Are you that blind of a fan that you're going to be that dumb and try to convince yourself that you actually have a shot at winning the Super Bowl? Come on, man. So because we're not making it to the Super Bowl, we shouldn't try? Diego, they backed into the playoffs for the 7th spot. What are you talking about, dude? They barely made the playoffs. You think this team is actually going to get to the Super Bowl? I mean, this is why some of you really are not smart football fans. I'm sorry, but that's what I got to say. Most of you that think that, you're either lying to yourself and you're big on lying to yourself, or you're really not very bright when it comes to football. So there you go. Is Teddy able to play? They have a chance to beat Buffalo. Teddy couldn't beat Buffalo's kids on the field. Teddy has a fractured pinky. It's hard to grip a football and throw it with your pinky not right. And he doesn't have a great arm as it is, which would make it worse. You're throwing in 30-degree weather and maybe wind. Yeah, no, Teddy would not be the game for me. Man of 1,005 holds, play the alarm for me. Go ahead, play the blind-ass fan alert because he's foolish enough to think that they could actually get to the Super Bowl. Give it.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
All right, we are, let's see, what do we got here? Nano VMP, thank you, sir, for if Salah gets fired from the Jets for DC and Miami. No, dude, they're not going to fire Salah. That would be ridiculous. That poor man didn't have a quarterback this year. No, man, no. You don't fire Salah, dude. That would not make any sense. I'm sorry, guys. That is not a good move. You don't fire McDaniel. You don't fire Salah. These guys did a good job overall. Okay? Was it great? Well, I'm actually more impressed with Salah than I am with McDaniel because Salah never had a quarterback, whereas McDaniel had one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and he should have done more with one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Are you going to rip the team if they play Tua? He might play, Big O. He just might play. Yes, I will rip the team. Yes, I will rip the team. Yes. Like I've ripped the team many times over the last 30 years. I will rip them if they play Tua. I will rip them if they sign Lamar Jackson. Yes. There are things that they can do that I will rip them for. Just like I ripped Mike McDaniel for his terrible game day coaching. He is one of the worst game day coaches in the NFL. He better work on that for next year. He's one of the worst game day coaches in a Dolphin uniform that I've seen. That's pretty bad. The good thing is there's a crap ton of potential there because his mind is beautiful for offense. He just got to figure some things out. D Wolverines 305 says this team is not ready and too injury riddled to make noise in the playoffs. Why put someone back in the lineup to play when this is not a playoff team? Just be happy we're in the playoffs. LOL, chill. Exactly. No, but there's no there. Brandon Shell just got injured. The left tackle is not playing is not playing either. It's just like, yeah, now let's just throw him out there. What the hell? Give me a break. What else do we have here? Marcus says Big L will absolutely rip the team for playing Tua because if they lose with Tua, Big O doesn't have any excuse, and that's his priority, which I don't care about that, dude. I care about him getting injured. I don't want him to get injured, Big O, OS crypto down in the dumps. Can't be happy. So is mine. OS crypto. I don't know what OS crypto is, bro. I don't have anything called OS crypto. I don't know what the hell that is. So
he didn't put the apostrophe in there.
Oh yeah, God, yes. Yeah, I know. Obviously, you're a little minor leaguer, right? Because you probably have still a little piggy bank there. I don't know if you know this, but everything is down, my man. Like stocks, like Tesla's down like 70%. But that's all right, my man. It's all good. I get it. I get it. You think you're taking some kind of intelligent shot. In fact, you're just sounding really stupid because the entire world is down. I don't know if you know this, but there's inflation all over the world. Some places even double digits. But I mean, let's not let the facts get in the way. No, of course. It's only my crypto that's down. Not stocks, not crypto, not everything else, but that's all right. It's my crypto is I'm hurting so much, man. Oh my God. I feel so crippled right now. I'm in such a bad mood. Some of you, I think you're like 10 years old. You know what I mean? Some of you really, I think you're like 10 years old. Because intelligence you don't have. Big O, are we going to the Super Bowl? No, not this year. Does making the playoffs matter? Yes. Why? Because the Jets and Patriots didn't. And that matters. Fins up. Exactly. I like that. And I like that they made it with all this crap that went around them, too. Toby Marmarino says, at this point, Glennon might be better than Skyler. I hate to say it, but you might be right. The human giraffe might be the guy. I mean, I was impressed. The guy can look over the stadium. I saw him on the sidelines. That neck was towering over the stadium. I was afraid that maybe any planes that might pass by might hit Mike Glennon's head. In fact, is it illegal to have Mike Glennon on your roster because he is too tall and could get in the way of flying planes? Now, the good thing is he can duck. So, it's flexible. The neck can duck. But think about this. How that man is not a great quarterback. He can see over the stadium, not just the offensive lineman. That's impressive. You're standing on the 20-yard line at Hard Rock Stadium, and you can find a dude in the Burger King down on Ivesbury Road. That's impressive. Not many can do that, but Mike Glennon can do that. Mario says, why would you rip the team for playing Tua? We are in a now-win mode and definitely have the talent to win the Super Bowl this year. If Tua doesn't play next week, he better retire, Big O. Well, Mario, listen, first of all, I would like for you to put down the marijuana, put down the drinks, put down the crack. Your team has no shot at making it to the Super Bowl, okay? I love the Dolphins as much as you, maybe more than you. Root for the Dolphins, but I'm objective here. The Dolphins have no shot, okay? And putting Tua at risk makes no sense. Jamie Lobo, thank you for the love on the Super Chat. 100% I would never sign Lamar. As far as playing Tua in the NFL, will not allow it. Optics, especially with the Hamlin situation. Well, we'll find out. Let's get to our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report with the one and only Marcel Louis-Jacques.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
There he is, the man that wishes he had the neck that Mike Glennon does. Although I got to tell you, Sauce Gardner gives him a little competition. I don't know if you noticed that. He's got a little bit of that extended neck, too. Not like Mike Glennon. That is impressive when you can look over the stadium. You have to admit that. That's a skill right there.
He's a tall guy. Davis Mills is the next man up, though, if we're going to be honest.
Neck man up, really? Really? He has I don't know.
Have you seen Davis Mills?
No, I didn't. You know what? I've seen him, but I did not notice he had a giraffe neck too. I had no idea. Got to look it up now.
Go Google Google Davis Mills and tell me. Somebody tell me I'm wrong.
Okay.
Someone tell me I'm wrong.
Back in the day, we had a guy in San Francisco. Oh shit, you're from that part. Merton Hanks. Way before your time, but maybe anything. You know who Merton Hanks is?
Nah.
You're kind of a youngin', so no. All right, so Merton was part of those great 90s teams and those monster San Francisco teams. And he had a neck, and he had this dance that he would do when he would, make a play. And so, because when you have that neck, you can do those kind of things, and it really stands out. So Merton Hanks, I remember, was that guy in the Niners years ago.
Joe Burrow quote asked about the Bengals Super Bowl window. You know what he just said? My whole career. The window is my whole career. The window is always open.
Right. That's the way you got to think. That's how the badasses think, bro.
Those are bars.
Oh, yeah. Davis Mills. Holy moly.
Yeah. I was about to say, man, he's
eating from the top of the trees. No doubt about it.
That's the neck of the year.
Yeah,
that's the neck of the year.
Actually, but that's actually a thick, strong, tall neck. Whereas Glennon's a skinny, long neck. This one's like he's got like a tree trunk. He's got like a redwood type of neck. Look at that. Damn. Okay. I wonder if these guys were wearing rings and stuff like those women do that hold up the baskets in their heads and they extend it every year by putting some kind of a ring and they're extending their necks. I wonder if they're doing stuff like that. All right. So how do we look? So how do we look at this victory? Do we say, considering all the crap that's happened to this team and losing your starter for 5 games, making the playoffs at least is some kind of an accomplishment?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shoot, you made it. Anything could happen. Anything could happen, right, when you get in. So, I mean, I'm back in, what was the year? Oh, man, was it 2012, 2011, or maybe earlier than that? The Seahawks, when they got in with the losing record. And nobody thought they were going to beat the Saints, and then they go and they went and beat the Saints. So, like, anything can happen once you're in. You should take pride in landing into the tournament and getting into the tournament without a doubt. Is this how they wanted to get in? Probably not. You know, they're limping in there, but I'll tell you what, playoff football is better than not playing. Playoff football is better than watching playoff football. So
you just want to go back to Buffalo. That's all. You just want to go back to Buffalo, have some wings, you know, that kind of stuff. That's it. That's
have you ever had wings in Buffalo and not at Anchor Bar?
No, not at Anchor. I haven't had any wings at Buffalo.
All right. Well, if you have a plate of wings in Buffalo, like sometimes like city landmarks, they're overblown. You know, it's like, oh, it's not that special. Like, it's not that damn good. Nah, but the wings in Buffalo are like physically different than anywhere else I've had anywhere else in the country. They're bigger. The sauce is different. They care about it a little bit more. Like, wings are special in Buffalo. I'm just saying. So like, before we shit on
them up with steroids, is what you're saying? Steroid wings is what you get there in Buffalo?
I mean, the first wing I ever had there, I damn near had to grab with my entire hand. So, like, yeah, it was, who knows? But I don't know. There's like a chicken shortage during COVID. So, I don't know if that's still the case. Obviously, I haven't been there in a minute.
Oh, yeah, you haven't been there in quite a few minutes. Mike McDaniel's game day coaching, very mediocre. That's one thing I would like to see him improve drastically on going into next season. I mean, the decision at the beginning of the game to go for that 4th down and give them the short field was catastrophically stupid. It switched, field position. You could have pinned them instead. It's a bad offense. Maybe you turn them over, you get a short field. Lots of other things that I can go through with him over the year that's happened. The challenges. Obviously, he finally won one at the end of the damn game. Your thoughts on Mike McDaniel and how he needs to improve his game day coaching?
I mean, that's just it's year one for him too, right? Like you learn situations, you learn how to respond in certain situations. The best way to do that is by being in those situations. So I think he's a smart guy. He obviously knows the game. I think the team obviously will play for him. I think, once it's year one, year 2, year 3, if you're still having these complaints with his entire handprints all over this roster, then we'll talk. But I think that, for year one, obviously they kind of cheated the system a bit in terms of, in terms of getting a coach's own players in. They circumnavigated the system, I should say, by trading for Tyreek and signing Armstead and all of that. They kind of accelerated the timeline a bit. But
they had no choice. They had no choice because Tua's contract, you have to find out as quick as possible. The 2 years with Flo, it killed you in trying to determine what do you have at quarterback. And so I think that's why they had to kind of fast track it. And I understood that. I understood why they had to do what they did. It made sense. Let me ask you, you're in the locker room. Brandon Shell, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. These are all guys. Tyreek came back. Eichenberg also got banged up, but I don't worry as much about him because you've got Robert Jones. But some of these other guys you would like to have for next week if you want to at least be somewhat competitive. So talk to me about some of these injuries because the Brandon Shell one really bothers me going into next week. in Buffalo if you can't have that man who has done a really nice job overall at right tackle.
Yeah, that's tough. I did see these guys in the locker room. That's usually a good sign. If they spend the entire time in the training room, that's when you got to get worried. I didn't see anybody, to the best of my knowledge, go into the X-ray room, so that's a positive sign. Jalen Waddle spoke to the media. That's a very positive sign. I think even Raheem Mostert might have done an interview as well, but he did have a brace on his hand, on I believe it was his right hand. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough because as a running back, you need your hands, man. That's not a position, you can do that. You can get away with that with a fullback. You can't really do that with a guy that's touching the ball 15, 16 times a game. So, it'll be a big Jeff Wilson week and a big Jeff Wilson and Savon Ahmed week.
Hey, Savon had a nice run there. But listen, Savon has answered the bell every time you've rung it. Okay? Every time you try to ring it, it goes ding, ding every single time. So kudos to that young man. He stays prepared, and he finds a way to hit the right holes, dude.
I've been saying it since this offseason, since training camp. Savon Ahmed, was obviously Mostert didn't play for most of training camp. He didn't practice. Edmonds looked good, but Savon Ahmed might have been the best looking running back at training camp this summer. So I'm not surprised to see him do this when he gets the opportunity. It's just that there are guys making more money than him. There are guys, Mostert, who were brought in. Wilson,
Mostert was running
for a specific rule. So I think it was an easy. The game plan was an easy call. Just back to back to back. Give it to Wilson, Mostert, and grind it out. And that's. I mean, dude, I'm tired. I'm beat right now, man. And watching that game,
you should be happy. That game went faster than normal, dude. It went faster than normal for you.
That was a grind, dude, to watch. That was a grind. I love my job, don't get me wrong. But it's week 18. We're about 24 weeks in of go, go, go. I am tired, man.
You could be a teacher. You could be a teacher handling 200 kids a week. You could be working on the streets and in the hot weather. I don't know.
Hey, I didn't say I don't want my job. I said I love my job, but I am allowed to be tired at my job, doing my job.
By the way, the Mostert injury, just like because a lot of people keep asking me about Teddy, that if Skylar can go, and my problem with Teddy is he doesn't have a strong arm as it is. A dislocated pinky finger, if he can't really grip the ball, anybody that's thrown a football, you know how important your pinky is to throwing that football and being able to put that spin on it and touch. And if Teddy doesn't have a healthy pinky, I don't even know how he even has a chance to contribute next week, to be quite honest.
No, I'm not sure. He gradually began throwing over longer distances throughout the course of the week. But I would probably expect Skylar Thompson to start on Sunday if I had to pick one right now with no further information. So don't take this and run with it. But if I had to pick one with no further information, I would say it's probably Thompson. And I'm concerned because it's not that I don't think Thompson has talent. It's that we're starting, especially today. It's starting today, or today especially. You're starting to see the things that plagued him early in training camp, which is the processing speed, has begun to slow down dramatically. And that Buffalo defense with McDermott and Frazier are going to confuse the ever-loving hell out of this kid next week. So it is it's grounds for a long game, but they did have a lot of success on the ground last time around. We'll see if that continues because all that success on the ground came with Tua at quarterback. And
would Armstead play next week?
I mean, we'll see. Doubtful today. That means, the fact that he wasn't ruled out so early, I think means that he was trying to play. I don't think we've seen him miss. Well, yeah, we did. We just saw him miss back-to-back games, but back-to-back games missed. I think that's time. That's enough time to rest these injuries. It's playoff time. If you're close, you gotta.
Okay, he misses all non-Tua games.
This is big. It's a big deal that they won without Tua, but it's a massive deal that they won without Armstead, because that doesn't happen.
And by the way, I'm with you on Skyler. I don't see, I don't see enough to build on, to be quite honest. When it comes to, I know he has physical talents, but lots of people have physical talents. But I see no anticipatory skills. I don't think the accuracy is there on a consistent basis. I would put it this way, and I'll keep repeating. I'll steal the idea from Manny Navarro. Hendon Hooker is there in the second or third rounds. I'm taking him. Okay, because he's not going to go in the first because he's coming off a knee injury. But he's the kind of guy that this is where the league is going. This, that what you're talking about with quarterbacks, we're going to be there in the next 10 to 20 years. That's where we're going. The mobile quarterback will be more of the normal quarterback, the guy that can actually be accurate too, with mobility. All that stuff is coming because we're developing that down the pipeline. And I think Hendon Hooker would be that kind of guy that I would take a chance on because he's that kind of talent that you try to mold in today's NFL. I think if you're the Dolphins, you have to try to plan for a better backup quarterback next year behind Tua. You want to come back with Tua? I have no problem with that. I hope you do. But you got to have somebody way better than Teddy Bridgewater waiting there. Now, that's going to be harder to do than saying it. Saying it is really easy. Accomplishing it will be very difficult.
So the tough thing about Thompson too, he's 25, I believe. He's 25.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Physically, he is not going to get any better. Physically, this is about what we are going to see from him for his career. Like this is it. He can make minor mechanical tweaks here and there. Maybe he can shorten up his release. He can add a couple yards on his deep ball, stuff like that. But it's not like we're going to see him physically develop. So where you're hoping is that mentally the game slows down for him and his processing, his clock speeds up, because right now he looks like a rookie. He looks like a rookie right now.
Yeah.
And that's the decision that they're going to have to make. Because ultimately, okay, if you draft another quarterback, like you're drafting a younger guy, so you're going to have to start this process over again. If you get a Hendon Hooker, who I haven't watched enough of to make any sort of qualified comment. I think I saw a mock draft from the Draft Network, which is my favorite draft site out there. Those guys are awesome, man. And I think Kyle Krabs had Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama going to Miami in the second round. And I think that's awesome. That's an awesome pick. Like if Hooker or Gibbs are on the board when you pick in the second round, I'm taking Gibbs.
So you agree with me?
Gibbs.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care which. I haven't done my homework yet either. I'm going to go to the Senior Bowl at the end of the month, and we'll start to do all our shit that we normally do every year, and we'll go to the Combine, and I'll figure all that stuff out. But so you're with me on this, that if the Dolphins have an opportunity to find another young quarterback out there, that you should do it because of the Tua situation.
That they should get another quarterback?
Yes, sir.
It just depends on it depends on how the board looks. It depends on the moves that you can make in the offseason. I know that they have scouted Anthony Richardson somewhat heavily up at Florida. He's a project, so I don't think he's going to be a first round pick.
Oh no.
But
no way.
That's a name that, like I said, I'm saying it right now on January 8th. I'm saying it right now, so that if you hear this name come about in April, you can say, "Oh shit, Marcel did say that." But I've been hearing about their interest in Anthony Richardson for a couple months now. That they've visited multiple times up in Gainesville, but I don't think that he's like a Tua replacement per se. I think that again he's a project talent who, if it all clicks, if he's able to put it all together, could be a scary dude in the NFL. He'd be a scary dude in the NFL.
His talents are all now his accuracy But then again, listen, what Josh Allen did, even though he's still not like really accurate, but he got much better than what I saw in Wyoming, what I saw in the Senior Bowl, and what I saw his first year. And then he made drastic improvement from that, which is something I had never seen from a quarterback. Normally, when they're erratic, and they're erratic for the rest of their lives. And he kind of toned it down. He still has his throws that go awry, but he has that ability with his legs that he can make up for all kinds of stuff. And Josh is a weird dude, because it's not weird because I've seen other guys do this. He's not perfectly accurate all the time, but he's clutch accurate, which is like weird. Like when you really need the throw, he can make the key throw, the money throw. He does that a lot.
It's funny when after my first year in Buffalo in 2019, I'm in a big group chat with a lot of writers from across the country, and a lot of my friends in there were telling me, about, because I said, hey, I think the Bills are going to be pretty good next year, and they're like, Josh Allen sucks. He sucks. He's not good. It's like he's not good for 3 quarters. But somehow in that fourth quarter, all the crazy shit that he was trying to pull in quarters 1 through 3 all of a sudden starts working. So if he can do that for 4 quarters, then he's going to be something. He's going to be special. And lo and behold, he started doing that for 4 quarters. Anthony Richardson is not Josh Allen, though. Like I want to make that Josh Allen's a way better prospect, and I'm not even suggesting that Anthony Richardson come in here and they move on from Tua and go there. I have to say that just in case this gets misconstrued. I don't want that on record at all. I'm just saying things that I have heard. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of quarterback play at the college level this year. I don't know if it's a mechanics issue with him. I don't know if it's just he's not good at throwing the ball accurately. Like I don't know. I haven't done the research into that, so I don't have an opinion on it per se. I'm just saying what I know about Anthony Richardson is they visited him multiple times, and he's very much a project quarterback who would, in theory, be in range for them in that 2nd and 3rd round, depending on how good of a pre-draft season he has. In theory.
Reggie D goes, I'm a Gators fan, a big no to Anthony Richardson. I think he's saying that because if you watch it a lot, his accuracy is effed up at times. Yeah, I think he's right. But I totally understand where you're coming from, because his gifts, the Lord blessed him, bro. He's got a rocket arm if he wants. He can run like a deer. He's got great size. He plays hard. You know what I mean? He's trying all the time. Now,
for guys like that,
is polishing that diamond up, and that's the key. Like they did with Josh Allen, they polished that diamond up and they made him a deadly ass weapon. And that's kind of, can you do that with Anthony Richardson? And that's the intoxicating part. And that's where, as you know, we've run into these people. Coaches will, they'll think that they're the guy that can turn that guy around, that can coach him up, that can make him great. And somebody's going to say, dude, that talent, I got to get him. I got to try to mold that talent to a quarterback.
And like I said, it's going to depend on what his pre-draft looks like how he is pre-draft. If I had to just guess based on generalizations, guys who are of that skill set generally get by on that skill set to the point where they don't have to refine their game. Guys like, if you're 6'4", 220 in high school, you're not working on your mechanics because you could run circles around these guys and run through anybody on the other side of the ball. Same kind of goes in college, depending on how big and fast you are. And I think that's kind of and it also depends on your supporting cast. I don't know Florida's supporting cast.
They got a decent supporting cast. Supporting cast. Their defense was what was really horrible, dude, this year.
Well, there it is. So I know in Josh Allen's case in Florida. In Josh Allen's case, he had nothing at Wyoming, and that hero ball shit was just him trying to make every single play happen. And so, once that instinct calmed down, then you could start to see the refinement mechanically. I don't know if that's the case with Anthony Richardson. Again, like I haven't scouted him. This is just reporting what I have heard, things that I have heard.
Yeah, by the end of the month, I'll start having more draft information when I'm out there for the Senior Bowl for the week. I'm just pissed, actually, that the Senior Bowl and the East-West are crossing over every year now. I hated that, bro. I used to love going every year for a week to the Senior Bowl and a week to a week to the East-West and a week to the Senior Bowl. And now it's impossible to do both, man. It just absolutely sucks.
Are people complaining about the canceled game, saying that they would rather have traveled to Cincinnati?
Oh, well, whatever.
You want I don't think people
complain about anything, bro.
I don't think you want any of these. Like again, I don't think you want any of these teams, especially if you're. Let's keep it a buck here. You're looking like you're looking like probably the weakest team in the AFC playoff field right now. If Tua's not playing,
looking.
you definitely are.
There's no looking. They are.
There's no good matchup for you unless you drew Jacksonville in the first round.
Yeah.
So maybe if you beat New England last week, maybe you do play Jacksonville in the first round. Right. So
and by the way, what happened was about the Buffalo Bills, not about anybody else in the league. So it's about respecting their space and doing what they wanted to do and what the league wanted to do. And they decided on what they want to do. The league decided on what they do. And the rest of us just got to go along for the ride. And it is what it is. Look, in the end, whether you made the playoffs to go to Cincinnati or go to Buffalo, who cares, dude? You're just lucky enough to back into the damn playoffs. And that's it. That's the bottom line, overall. Okay, so does Tua have still a chance to play? Like, I wouldn't play him personally. I'd sit him out for the rest of the year. You already are telling us that you think it's Skyler's game next week anyway. So talk to me. What's your gut tell you? Because I personally would hold him out and let him, completely recalibrate and get his head right and all that.
I'd say no to I'd say no to for the rest of this year. He helped you get here and all that, but he's 24, 25, however old he is, man. Like, he's got a whole life ahead of him. Don't blow it all on on the season where you're not winning it all, man. Like, you're not. The Dolphins have a cap this year. You made it, and anything can happen. Don't get me wrong, but in order to win it all, this means you're going to have to beat Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincy, right? Come on. Like, let's be honest here. Like, it's like, with all due respect, the way that this team's played the past month, that's not doable. That's not.
There isn't enough drugs in the world that I can take that I would then come to the conclusion that they have a shot against those teams.
Yeah.
Okay?
So no, I would say no. McDaniel, kind of hinted at it, saying, I don't know if whether it's this year, next year. I don't have a timeline for him. So he said, we'll worry about that if and when he's medically cleared. So I hear a non-committal decision maker here. I just don't think he plays, because I think while you can't make every single decision about optics, the optics in this case, if you play him and he is hurt again and he sustains another concussion, all of a sudden it starts to look like negligence. Like, I think even the most optimistic Dolphins fan has to look at that with a cocked head. So I don't think he plays again this year. I don't necessarily have I can't say that definitively, but I don't necessarily think he plays.
Why is he not on the screen there? Why am I only seeing myself here on the screen? What happened?
I don't know.
Sean?
Can you?
I hear you.
There we
go. Okay. All right. I wonder, did I do something or? I don't know. Did I do something there, Sean? I'm sorry if I did something there. I can't tell. What do you got for us?
No, I just walked out and I walked back in and then I heard that. So I didn't touch anything. I don't know why he disappeared.
Okay. All right. So I'm with you. I would not play Tua, but is there a chance? Because the way I thought it was, he needed to have that light workout the week before you come back, like towards the back end of it, before you start the week of the game. Because, dude, I've seen people come back within the same week or whatever. I don't know how this whole thing is played out. So please explain.
Like, quarterbacks in concussion protocol is a little tricky because there's a 4-step process before you are fully cleared to return. I'm fuzzy on the first one. I believe the second is light aerobic exercise. The third is like individual football specific activities, and I think the fourth is non-contact team participation. And this is where the tricky part comes in, the loophole comes in, because every practice for a quarterback is non-contact teamwork. That's why they have the red jersey on. So in theory, like if the team doctor clears him of a concussion, you can, in theory, again, hold off on taking him to, the independent contractor. At least this is my understanding of it. You can hold off on taking him to the independent contractor to officially get him cleared. And that way your opponent has to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. That is my understanding of it, at least. I don't know if that has changed over the years, but that when I first really began to understand concussion protocol, that was my understanding of it back in 2019. So it is tricky, but Tua has not even been out at practice. He has not practiced in any capacity as far as I know. It would take a then Herculean effort to get him ready for this game. We remember how he looked after 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off earlier this season. He was rusty. The timing was off. It wasn't a big deal because it was week 7.
Right.
It's a big deal now. You can't be off. Your timing can't be off. Your chemistry can't be off. So he will have to be practicing. He will have to be in step 4, like phase 4 of protocol.
That's right,
on Wednesday, in order for him to have a chance to play. And that is if the game is on Sunday. If the game's on Saturday, he has to be ready to be playing tomorrow or Tuesday.
Right.
I don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. It sucks. It's tough. Like talent-wise, obviously he gives you the better chance to win. But you got to take his long-term health into consideration, and you have to take the timing and chemistry of this offense into consideration. Skyler has been practicing with the first team for the past week.
That don't mean much.
or put Teddy. It doesn't matter. Like one of those two have at least played football over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Teddy right now because he's limited as it is, and now you're that if that pinky's not really, it's and plus, by the way, we're going to Buffalo, 30 degrees maybe, wind. That pinky ain't gonna work too well in those kind of conditions. You know what I'm saying? It's not hot and humid where you can keep things loosen up. That coldness will stiff you up, man. All right, what do you got going on ESPN so folks can check you out, my friend?
Oh man, well, we don't have locker room clean out tomorrow. We got a playoff game to prepare for. Tua is going to be the story. He is going to be the biggest storyline this week. So that's what we're focused on. That's what we're waiting on. Had a couple good conversations with Xavien Howard, who's the only remaining Dolphin from their previous playoff roster. Had a chat with Bradley Chubb as well. Yeah, there's one guy left.
I did not realize that it was that little left over from the Gase era. Wow. Okay.
And then spoke with Bradley Chubb. He's in the playoff for the first time in his career. Like it's the first time he's even been in the hunt. And first time in his career, I thought he was great. So I'll probably have a story out about their playoff expectations. But beyond that, man, tonight I'm getting some sleep. I got to go get my dog. He's in a cone right now. I know he's mad. He's in a cone and in his crate and pissed. So I got to go get him out.
Go get him, bro. Take care of them doggies. What, you had him neutered?
Nah, I don't know what it is, man. Like, it's not fleas, but he just keeps chewing at the same spot on his back. And, I wake up this morning and it's basically a bald patch now. He just chewed his fur clean off. It's so, I put a diaper on him at first I put a diaper on him at first so he couldn't get to it, but he would just try to get under it. And so it's like, okay, well.
Can we put a cone on Tua?
Maybe a neck roll or a better helmet.
Okay. Oh, he's definitely going to wear that helmet. He's wearing the Kenny Pickett helmet. He's got to wear the Kenny Pickett helmet. But let's put a ring on him too. That way, when he falls, it kind of protects him and all that. It might help out. It might get in the way of his passing, but it protects the head. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch his work there at ESPN, and of course, catch him twice a week here doing his thing with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report. Marcel, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Peace.
There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques. By the way, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. When I tell you about Edge Energy Drink, it is better than any energy drink you're taking, drinking, whatever you swear by now. Okay? Order it to your home. Order it to your office. Go to myedgedrink.com. You can only get it online. Use our code Big O. Get 10% off. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste, which is going to blow you away because, as you all know, most of these sports drinks, they have an aftertaste. This one does not. It's going to blow you away. It is delicious. And as an elixir, oh man, when I mix it with vodka, it is awesome. myedgedrink.com. Don't forget, by the way, to smash that like button. You now have the edge.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
All right. Let's see. Anthony Lizzie, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Playoffs. We want to see Tua, but I understand letting him heal fully. If he is in, though, I think we can beat anyone. Thank you for everything you do for us Phinz fans. Listen, man, I love Tua, and there's no doubt if Tua plays, you have a chance because the kid can run the offense. I'm a big Tua guy, but I want Tua for the long term, and I get it, man. Those of you that don't believe in Tua that he couldn't play, you're wrong. So now you want to talk about him being healthy. Oh, if he can't be healthy, then why do you need him, this, that, whatever. I get it, man. You don't care about the human being. You don't care if he suffers a fourth concussion. You really don't. You care about trying to win one game in the playoffs because you're so desperate because the team has been absolutely pathetic. They're an embarrassing franchise for the last 25 years. And I get it. We're trying to climb out of this embarrassment that they've been in for a quarter century. And it's frustrating as a Dolphins fan. And I'm just as frustrated as you guys are. But I just don't want to see this kid injured for no reason at all. Armando Swaim says, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash Big O Show. On Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Where's the Perdomo, the Grey Goose, and the Edge Energy Drink? Yeah, baby, that'll be after this. I don't do that in studio. Can't do that. Got to go outside. So when I go outside tonight, after I'm done here, I'll go relax with the wife. Probably enjoy a champagne, by the way, Perdomo. As my victory cigar today. All right, Sean, I don't know where I left off in the super chats. Can you help me out? As you always do. Mike Thompson, it takes Glennon 2 months to shave his neck. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Next up is, let's see who we got. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Anthony Pertrunt just announced that Tua's not playing next week. It has not been announced. That's a lie, Anthony. Don't do that. Okay, they have not announced that Tua is playing next week. He hasn't even practiced. How can they announce that? That's not. I get it. We got plenty of people that they put out fake stories and fake reports and all kinds of fake what's it called? The conspiracy theories and all that crap that people love to come up with. Yeah, that's not one of them. But thank you, Anthony, for the super chat. Next up is that it? Oh, one more. Okay. Andre224. Greetings from Italy. Go Dolphins. Italia. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Andre. Thank you. Very cool. All right, there you go. What else do we have here? Earl Morrall was a backup QB in 72, and he took us to the AFC Championship game. For those of you who are suffering, Rosendo, Earl Morrall was a guy that took the Baltimore Colts to the Super Bowl. Earl Morrall was not your regular backup quarterback, dude. Why do you do that, Rosendo? You send out that kind of misinformation, and then other people that have no idea, they don't do their homework, they have no history of the game. Well, Earl Morrall did it. Why can't Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater? And Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater, his career doesn't even come close to Earl Morrall's. That's so unfair. That is so unfair, dude. That is just wrong on every level to feed people that kind of fake information, man. You are a trip, man. All right. Haven't won a playoff game in 20 years. They can't give up and happy to lose. Would rather give Pitt the opportunity to play if giving up is the attitude. Pickett and his 2 concussions would play. Yeah, but he's not in the middle of the concussion protocol. He's already recovered from the concussion. And Tua has 3, not 2. Griffin Gaming, thank you, sir. Playoff bound, baby. Road trip to Buffalo. Also, Earl Morrall is the only backup QB in NFL history to win a league MVP, and he led us to the perfect season, and they weren't even the same seasons. I know. But Earl Morrall's not your regular backup. That's the thing. You know, Earl Morrall is a badass player, dude. Like, that's not fair to label Earl Morrall, to have him as a backup is like a luxury that is just ridiculous. Okay? In those days, Jay, let me tell you, when we had Strock, Teddy Bridgewater, Don Strock will run circles around Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? And I know Teddy Bridgewater got some starts. You know, in Minnesota, played for a couple years and all that, and he got a little turn in Denver, a little turn in New Orleans, a little turn in Carolina, all that stuff. He is nothing. I'd rather take Don Strock any day of the week and twice on Sundays. You know, I've said this for 20 years. Do you realize that Shula's backups were better than all the starters Miami has had since Marino? You realize that? Shula's backups are better than all the quarterbacks, until Tua, of course. All of them. Every one of them. Every single stinking quarterback that came after Marino, I'll take Don Strock and Earl Morrall over them. Those were Shula's backups. Whole different. Ask any old guy out there. They will not argue with me one bit. They will not say anything. Why? Because they saw Don Strock come off the bench many times. And he was more than capable of running your offense and winning games. What I saw today was a guy that was incapable of running an offense. Okay? Shula's backups were better than the sewage you've had here playing quarterback for 20 plus years. That's how badass Shula was. Okay? His backups. Forget Greasy and Marino. I don't need to talk about them. That's the crazy stat you need to live on. And most people will tell you. Andy 224 says, excuse my English, but do you think Tua with all these concussions can be a QB of the NFL? Of course. Sidney Crosby has 8 concussions. His problem, as I've said 1,000 times already, learn to get rid of the football. And you won't. All his injuries come from holding the ball to 4 to 5 seconds. Only one of the injuries was 3.81 seconds or 3.89, I think it was. I have the notes somewhere there. All the other ones are in the 4 to 5.10 second range. I'm a huge Tua guy. He's got to learn how to get rid of the football. He does that, he can have a hell of a career. A Hall of Fame, win a title for the Dolphins. He keeps thinking he's Pat Mahomes. He's DOA. Dead on arrival. It's up to him now. He needs to decide what does he want to do? Does he want to keep playing this hero ball bullshit? If he does, it's over. All right, we're out of here. We thank Sean Stanley, who masters this program. We thank everyone that chimed in, tuned in. We thank our amazing sponsors. We will see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Appreciate all of you out there. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Go Phinz.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings. Get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com. 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.